Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 11, Episode 6. What's the episode entitled? The episode's entitled... Alright, we'll get to that in a minute. My TV's acting funny. Oh, Whining and Dining. Now, the episode starts off where we have Cynthia. She has Leon, her ex-husband... Her ex... and Noel's father. They're there. He's hanging out because Noel's going to go off to college school soon. I think she's going to, Harvard dentistry school. And the thing is, Cynthia is the let's have fun, let's live life type of parent. Leon is the more so stern, this is what it's going to be. We are the parents. We're not the friends type. And it's nice to see them, have a good relationship. We've always seen them have a good relationship, even when she was with Peter. And she was even talking about Mike, her current boyfriend. And she was saying how, everything seems to be going well. And I said, great, let's move on. So now we move on to something very interesting. Shamari and Ronnie, they go out on like a lunch date with Todd and Candy. A couple of things occur when it comes to this date. Candy does bring up the whole thing with Porsha and how originally she heard information about Porsha's boyfriend, and so she wanted to go and to say to Porsha instead of going and being messy and just talk behind her back. But then she was instructed not to, but then someone went and told Porsha anyway. And Ronnie just had that look of, don't be messy. Don't be messy. Keep it cute, on mute, don't be messy. Shamari had that look of, hey, you need to do what you need to do to get what you want to get. But we go from that to something a little surprising, but not too much. It was weird because Shamari, she brought up the fact that she did go and divulge her marriage was an open relationship for a certain period of time. She was the one who initiated it, and Ronnie just had that look of, hey, because again, we get more of the... Candy went and said, oh, she thought Shamari was just cheating on Ronnie. So I'm like, who told you that? Because that sounds like some information we didn't hear. But Shamari lets me know that she grew really attached to one of the women that she was dating. Well, she wasn't supposed to be dating anyone, but that's what turned into an actual relationship. And he wasn't attached to anyone emotionally, so that's where the divide was, and it caused a huge rift in their relationship. And at one point, they weren't going to work. So then she had to reassess and, figure out who she cared about more about. And once they dropped that, then they eventually got pregnant. And now they're one big happy family. And, oh yeah, so that was great. Whatever. But the other thing that I forgot to mention is that Candy was trying to say, hey, some of the other ladies are freaks on this show, but they like to downplay. They like to make it seem like Candy is the only one who does anything sexual, does anything freaky deaky. And I said, yeah, of course they're going to do that because you were willing to go and talk about it openly first, which means that they're not going to go and put their stuff out on Front Street. Now we get Nene. Nene goes to Tanya's house. I guess she's not the new housewife because she doesn't have an intro. She's very bubbly. Labels everywhere. Her house looks nice. Big ring. Again, she actually seems like she's probably a nice person, which maybe that's why it's not gonna work out on this show, because we can't have too many nice chill people, because she actually doesn't seem like she's gonna be too messy. She seems very nice, and even though she's labely, she seems very bubbly, and I just didn't see it really working. Nene was clearly trying to usher in someone new onto the show, and it just wasn't working out. We go around her house, and again, things look nice. They definitely look nice, but when you kind of just look at some of the other houses, they're bigger, first off. Again, we know she has money. We know her and her dude, whether they have money, there's no problems there. I'm not disputing any of that. She had this hideaway closet that was filled to the brim with designer stuff. Again, great. But even Nene said it looks kind of small, but I said Nene. Nene. All right. But apparently some things transpired when they were at the party last night. They own multiple companies. Her and her fiance own multiple companies. And because of that, they put the focus on their business instead of getting married. And I guess for them, it would have to be a big wedding. So, like I said, the focus has been on the business side. Of course, on the outside looking in, I don't know about how her relationship is. So I have nothing to go off on. So I don't have anything negative to say. And even if I did, you know how this goes. A lot of times I don't say it anyway. But Nene is inviting her to a, what was it? Boobs and bourbon party. Remember, she had her gays, her something, gals, and something party last year, which people hate the title. So this year it's boobs and bourbon, or bourbon and boobs, and the new woman is invited. Now Porsha's talking, she's on the car ride to see Candy, and she's talking to Lauren, her sister, and Porsha feels a certain way because she just feels like Candy is being super messy. Candy's trying to act like she's not being super messy, and she's tired of the fact that Candy is being super messy. And by talking about her relationship but to other people, I'm thinking, here's the only reason why I can't get too upset. Only reason. All of them used to do this all of the time. All of the time. So now I'm not going to give Porsha special consideration when this group has always done that to new people coming in. That's the one reason why I'm not going to go and do that. Now they're at the restaurant for brunch, and Porsha, she's not going to have any alcohol. She's just going to have some fruit punch, like some regular fruit punch. And I'm thinking, oh, so you're already pregnant. Got it. Candy's just having water because people keep forgetting that Candy doesn't actually drink. Now, they're complimentary to each other. It's starting off on the right foot. And then Porsha just jumps right into it after the drinks come. Here's my issue. My issue is that we're supposed to be, on the foot. We're supposed to be on the other side of things. But you have decided, nah. You have decided that you want to go and relay some information about my significant other to others in the group instead of coming to me, if you were going to go and say anything at all, which I feel like you shouldn't have said anything at all. I'm thinking, now Porsha, listen to me and listen to me well. Porsha, you used to be word in the curb, word in the street. The streets is talking, Peach Street, Peter Street, all them streets. Are we going to go and pretend like? Now that you have a relationship, the rules have to change. I do agree that when she said, if we're supposed to be in a different place and in a different space, then I wouldn't expect you to go and do certain things. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is this whole thing of, well, I just don't know why someone would do that. I said, well, because you used to do that. Okay, I'm glad for the growth, but we can't just go and pretend like certain things never occurred. And Candy, she really is over it. She really is over it because she really didn't argue with Porsha. She said, you know what, you're right. We're supposed to be on the other side of things, so I won't talk about him, period, because that's what Porsha wants. It's like, don't talk about him, period. Whatever you hear, you didn't hear it. Oh boy, the battery's running low. Let's go and plug this thing in. Now, Cynthia is, you see how much of a professional, still going. Cynthia and Leon have taken their daughter Noelle out in order to talk to her about college. Some important things. Well, is she going to go and stay on campus? Yes, she is. Is she going to go and well, I should say live on campus. She wants an apartment. She wants an apartment on campus. It's $5,000. The apartment is also the same amount, and she could have her own space, her own place. It's 10 minutes away. But Leon, he made a good point. So is that 10 minutes away when we're talking about car or walking? Because he doesn't want her to have a car, at least initially, because he doesn't want his daughter, running around doing X, Y, and Z instead of, focusing on her studies, going and hanging out, which is very easy to do when you have a car. Another thing was, I was one of the people who had a car in college. And so when that's your situation, other people are like, oh, so can we go here? Can we go there? Can we do this? Can we do that? And yes, we can, but I'm not Uber. I'm not Lyft. Please, when I was in college, Uber and Lyft, I think they did exist, but they were small. They were both small. So, and I definitely wasn't doing that as a side gig. I had me a regular job at Marshall's. Anyway, they go and pray over the food, and then they talk about the details. Cynthia's going to miss her baby. That is her only child. That is her baby. She loves to baby that baby, but Noelle is not a baby. Noelle is 18. But Cynthia wanted Noelle to, drink while she was around her so that she can get used to alcohol and not go ham. I understand it. I really do. But Leon said, look, if she doesn't want to drink, then don't. This is the whole thing. If she doesn't want to drink, it's one thing. If she was like, oh, can I have a sip of that? But she's the polar opposite, at least right now. So don't try and make her grow up too fast in certain areas and then hold her back in other areas. We know that, Cynthia, you are worldly traveled and whatnot, and your views are a little bit different. You're a little bit more of a free spirit. But I'm glad Leon is there to say, hey, let's dial it back a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Can we? Can we please? Thank you. Greg looks great. He looks happy. He's in good spirits. I guess right now he's definitely didn't do the chemotherapy. He's probably just focusing on, just living life at least as is. And Nene and Greg are getting the events together. The people come one by one. It's supposed to be a couples situation. Now, like I said, everyone's slowly coming along. And then there's this new woman, Yvonne, whatever her name is, because see, here's the thing. People think that we just like all drama. That's not true.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
Just have a purpose. And the purpose that she came with was a no. No. It was a no. It was a why. What's going on? Because once Eva sat down to her, Eva's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. As in, I don't know you. And that rubbed her the wrong way. She wanted to drink immediately. She was very perturbed immediately. Marlo came with this white man who we're all thinking, who's this white man? This is one of the rich ones that you're supposedly making money off of, because we're not mad at it. We just want to know if that's the case or not. Because that was always the thing with her. But we don't know. Eventually, Porsha shows up with Dennis. Porsha wears a red wig. Dennis wears a green suit. So they're color coordinated. And Dennis even hugs Candy. And Candy was concerned. She said, wait a minute. What is going on here? I said, Candy, it's called growth and maturity. I would hope this man would have some decorum to not act a plumb fool. And he didn't. So points for Dennis. No matter what the situation is. Now we see how Eva's Michael, he was appreciative of Dennis, because apparently when he was running for mayor, I think it was, his opposition was calling around to local businesses and saying, hey, don't vote for him, don't support him, don't fund him. And Dennis did anyway. And I said, okay, cool. Greg is happy to have everyone there, and he loves his wife. He said, he's just thankful for good health. And I said, okay, for better health. He said good health. I'm going to say better health, because it confused me. I said, oh, wait, they weren't wrong about the cancer spots, right? But Greg is on the positive, and we love it. That's one of the reasons why we love Greg. And then this game was it wasn't really a game. This thing was initiated where everyone goes around the table and they talk about how they first met their significant others. Now, Cynthia couldn't do that because she brought a business partner, since her boyfriend is still in LA. See, Cynthia isn't dumb. She did this on purpose. That man could have found a way to come there, even if it was for like 24 hours, or heck, for 5 hours. But Cynthia realized, oh, my last relationship was marred because he was around these women, just like the last one before that. So let me make sure that doesn't happen from now on. I see your game, Cynthia. You're not slick. You are not slick, and I'm not mad. Now, Nene talks about how her relationship with Greg came to be. I said, wait a minute, what? And so did Candy, because Candy had a look of, go and tell the truth. Y'all, you were stripping, you dated for a couple of months, and then you were together. Just call a thing a thing. I said, Candy. Now, Candy, stop it. Candy and Todd did meet officially in Africa, and Shamari met Ronnie. They were in the club, and he was with Bobby, around Bobby at the time. You know, Bobby Brown. They were hanging out, and, you know, Ronnie held her hand, and she was like, oh, hey. It was like, wait. I want to take you out. And she said, oh, okay. So then on their first date, they went out and they did it. I said, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because they're grown. Eva went and cooked for her man. Eva saw her man, said that he was going to be her man. And she was like, oh, yes, I'm Eva the Marcel. You know, I would love to cook for you. I said, wow, that's forward. Dennis tells his story of how Porsha initially didn't give him the time of day the first go around. And I said, now this makes more sense. So after Porsha dealt with all those other situations, I guess the prospect of Dennis wasn't looking so bad. You see how that works? That's called life. And then they're talking about, Porsha was saying, yeah, the tattoos got her. She loves her man with tattoos. And Candy had that look of, but whose tattoos are they? I said, oh, let's stop it. Now we get over to, what's her name? Yvonne. And she was upset because apparently they also talked about all the people who went to certain schools. Yvonne and Eva went to the same school, same college, same university. Yvonne was upset because apparently Eva and her shared the same friend. A friend that was actually in Eva's, a part of Eva's, what? Bridal? Something important. And so then Eva, she's looking at her like, okay, but I still don't know you. And then Yvonne said, how did you not know me? I was lit. I was the ish. You know, everyone knew me on campus. And said, for what reasons? Were you rude? Were you a diva? Was that why people knew you? Because that's not cute if that was the case. The most memorable person on campus. Her husband looked irritated. And then she got irritated at her husband. And then Nene said, wait a minute, what are we doing here? This is supposed to be about couples. This is supposed to be about relationships. This is supposed to be about happiness. And that stopped that whole conversation. But Nene is inviting, Greg wants to do a couples trip. And so that's nice. I'm thinking, but which couples? Because we're definitely not having all of them on here. We're definitely not having all of them on here for obvious reasons. First off, that pair has to go. The husband was cool, but she was on one, and she had a chip on her shoulder. She can't do that if she wants to stay around this group. Anyway, Porsha, it's Dennis's 38th birthday, and Porsha got her someone age appropriate. That's nice. And she's there being her usual fun, bubbly type. And he actually got her a present on his birthday, which is interesting. In a good way. So Porsha said she had something for him. At first, I was looking at what she was drinking. I said, that doesn't look like alcohol. Or at least, if that's champagne, it's non-alcoholic. I even caught that then. I said, wait a minute. Porsha, Dennis knew something was off when he saw that, but he still kept it moving. And so then Porsha gave him his first present. It was a pair of baby shoes. I said, she's pregnant. And he still had that look up. You need to make this very clear, because I'm not 100% sure. And then she, I think, pulled out a onesie or something like that. And it's like, yay! I'm so happy for her, pregnant. They seem really happy, so they're good there. But before that, they did talk about briefly how, how the whole thing with Candy go. He said he gave Candy a hug. He's not that, Porsha said, wow, that was really big of you, considering she was saying that your past. And he was like, look, the past is in the past. What happened in the past was back there. I said, there it is. He didn't say that she was wrong with anything. He just said the past is in the past. Past. You need to go and really assess what people say when they say it. But Porsha was just proud because her man was mature about it all. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.